welcome to another video. Last night I got over 7 hours sleep. Oh yeah, pretty happy with that. That's the first time that's happened in well over a month since I came off metazapine, so it's very exciting. Unfortunately, I haven't been feeling really any better today. I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to read some of my book. I started reading the last Outlander book in the series that's currently been released, because whenever I feel really down, I always just reach for an Outlander book. They're really, really good for just not cheering me up exactly, but just making me forget how bad I feel. So I'm going to read some of that, and I'm really sad that this is the last one that's currently released. There's plenty of like novellas and kind of other stories related to that kind of universe, if I want to call it that. So I'm looking forward to reading some of those, but it's not quite the same. Hopefully I sleep well, but who knows at this point? Who knows? I've got an appointment at 2 p.m. to talk to my Breakspear doctor, on the phone I should say, to talk about the fact that I had to cancel my IVs, and I'm thinking about maybe changing things up and going with a herbal protocol. I just feel like my body needs a break from antibiotics. It needs a change. I just need something to change, basically. I feel like I've lost all the progress I made over the past 7 months. The last month just gone completely backwards. And I know that's due to the metazapine withdrawal, but it's still really hard to take. So I'm feeling quite down about that. I'm going to make some notes for my appointment this afternoon, and then I'm just going to rest as much as possible until it happens. Okay, I do feel like that appointment was really good. He agrees that switching to a herbal protocol for a little while would be a good idea. He also wants me to have a few genetic tests to see if I have any gene mutations that stop me metabolizing certain medications or supplements and products that are produced naturally in my body, such as neurotransmitters. I think that's a really good idea, because he asked me whether I would want to switch to a different medication that has a similar effect of metazapine, and I said no, not really. I would like to try and do without it if I can, because I've tried quite a few medications of a similar vein in the past, and I've just had horrific side effects from all of them, to the extent that my doctor is really confused by the level of side effects that I have. And I was like, would that be explained if I had metabolism issues in my body? He was like, yeah, that really would explain it. I was like, oh, that's amazing, because that's something that's always bugged me. I'm sure in the videos you've noticed that when I have to start a new medication, I'm really, really nervous. And that is because in the past, when I've had to start new things, it's just been so terrible. So I'm really thinking that that would be a good avenue for me to explore. It's also been suggested to me by a number of friends who have Lyme and co-infections that I should investigate this. So I'm feeling quite positive after that appointment. I am, however, now completely exhausted, and I'm also in a lot of pain. The pain I was talking about that's sort of in my back of my neck has spread to my face, so I've got pain all in my face, which is not fun. So I'm going to lie in bed, I'm going to catch up with Criminal Minds, and I'm going to try and relax, because today has been quite stressful. I woke up at 5:30 a.m. this morning, didn't get back to sleep, but I had to have a shower and wash my hair today because I have an appointment tomorrow to have a diabetic eye screening, and I don't like to leave the house with like horrible dirty hair. And oh my goodness, I'm so tired now. I cannot think properly. I'm just going to have to hope that I sleep better. One exciting thing that I did do today, though, is that I finally pre-ordered the new Philip Pullman book, The Book of Dust. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. It's set in the same world as his Dark Materials trilogy, which is one of my favourite books of all time. Yeah, I'm just so excited for this. Can't believe I have to wait till October. So I kind of broke this morning. When my mum came in to bring me a cup of tea, I just burst into tears because I'm just so fed up with feeling like this. It's the nausea that's the real problem, because although I wake up most nights, if I don't feel sick, I can go back to sleep. But when I feel sick, I just cannot get back to sleep because it's just so intense and horrible. And I can't even lie down because that makes it worse. So I have to sit up. And obviously that is tiring for me in itself. I've basically just been sitting in this position since 4:45 this morning, and I feel like it just kind of broke me today. I've had to rearrange my appointment for like, what is that, the 42nd time? I need to either be strong mentally or physically to go to an appointment. Preferably both, obviously, but recently that hasn't been happening. So if I'm feeling really horrible physically, but I'm feeling strong mentally, then it's fine because I can handle it. If I'm feeling weak mentally but strong physically, then again, it's okay because I can sort of talk myself into going. But the two together, I can't. It's too much for me. I'm just going to do nice things today. I'm just going to do things that are going to make me happy. I don't know what that is yet, but I'm going to find something because that is what I need. Well, last night was strange. I was awake more than I was asleep, which, as you probably will know by now, that's my marker of whether it's a good night or a bad night. I woke up much earlier than I usually do, at like 12:30. And that was when my nausea and my burping / dry heaving began. Lasted a few hours, but actually I was kind of pleased that it happened slightly earlier because I thought, oh, it gives me a much better chance of being able to get back to sleep. And I was drifting off, and then my heart started to go very weird. Obviously, I have tachycardia most of the time anyway because I have POTS. Usually my heart rate is around 90 to 110 beats per minute, and it usually only reaches the higher end of that when I'm climbing stairs or exerting myself, like if I'm washing my hair or something like that. But last night, for some reason, my heart rate decided to go between 130 and 150 beats per minute. I was measuring it quite a lot throughout the night. I'd be lying there and my heart rate would be sort of beating really fast, and then it would suddenly feel like it was about to explode, and I was like, oh my god. This went on for hours. And I was really scared that something was going to happen. I was going to have a heart attack or a cardiac arrest or something like that. I was really scared. Luckily, it didn't explode, and I don't appear to have had a heart attack or a cardiac arrest or anything because, you know, I'm talking to you. So that's one good thing. The bad thing is I got about 2 hours sleep last night, which, even for the way I've been going over the last month, is really, really bad. I really hope that was like a one-off and it doesn't happen again. The heart thing, I mean. Obviously, I've had really bad tachycardia before, but I've never had the feeling of my heart feeling like it's about to explode. And I've never had it when I've been lying down. It's usually happened if I've been on my feet for a long time. Obviously, I haven't done that in a few years, but previously. If I've been walking for too long. So I'm quite unnerved by that. And if I ever manage to get a GP appointment, I might bring it up. But at the rate I'm going, I probably won't get one for months, maybe years. So I'll just have to cope by myself. I'm feeling quite reflective today because today was the day that I was supposed to leave for Breakspear. And considering how I'm feeling today, my God, I'm so glad I cancelled it. I'm going to stay in bed as usual for the rest of the day. I haven't actually left my bed today, but I'm just going to stay here anyway and hope that I can sleep better tonight. Thankfully, sleep-wise, the last 2 days have been a bit better, but pain-wise, they've been much worse. Muscle pain, nerve pain in my face. It sort of starts behind my eyes, radiates down through my sinuses, and then ends up kind of in my teeth. It's not like having toothache. It doesn't actually hurt when I eat. It's just like a constant pain. I had counselling today, which was really, really good. I really, really needed it. The last couple of weeks has been really hard mentally. I'm sure that's reflected in the clips I filmed. And one of the things we were talking about in today's session is trying to maintain your identity with chronic illness. And I know that this is something that a lot of people who are chronically ill suffer with. And weirdly, it's not something I've ever really thought about before. But I think that over the last month and a half, during this really bad period I've been having, I've really been unable to do any of the things that I use to express my identity. And really the only things like that that are left to me in my current state are what I watch, what I read, and what I listen to in terms of music and podcasts. And I've really been very, very limited in that in the last 6 weeks. I think as well, making these videos, I only end up talking about things to do with my illness, appointments, how I'm feeling. And so I think I'm maybe going to try and explore talking about other things. I've been too ill to do anything I really enjoy over the last 6 weeks. And all that's left me with is lying in bed, thinking about my illness, thinking about what should I do, thinking about what I don't know, thinking about all these questions I want answered. And that is just not a healthy thing to do. And I think that that is one of the reasons why I've really been struggling so much mentally recently. So I do feel a lot better after having that conversation and kind of realising that. My God, was it difficult to get through that session today with the amount of pain I was in. We were talking about chronic pain in the session today as well. And we were saying how people who are not in pain constantly really don't get how much energy it takes to ignore the pain or work through the pain or concentrate through the pain. It's so exhausting. And I think that's why I'm so tired now, even though I slept well last night. On that note, I'm going to go to bed. I really hope I sleep well tonight. Well, again, well, we'll just have to wait and see. I finally have a GP appointment. Woohoo! After about a month of ringing up every single day, I finally have an appointment. It's next Tuesday. It's at 9:30 a.m, which is far from ideal. But at this point, I'm going to take whatever I can get. It's going to be really tough. There's no way around that. The second thing I wanted to tell you is that I finally plucked up the courage to start my herbal protocol. So I started taking cat's claw. So I've taken 2 doses so far today, and I haven't really noticed anything horrible yet. Which obviously is a good thing. I'm glad I finally got the courage to start. The herbs actually got delivered probably about a week ago, but I was just too afraid to start them because whatever I seem to do at the moment just seems to make me feel worse. I stopped taking mirtazapine, it makes me feel worse. I stopped taking antibiotics, I crash, and it's like I can't do anything right. I guess the real test will be how I feel tomorrow and the next few days after that. Please, let's keep our fingers crossed that it's okay. Oops, I almost forgot. Today marks the end of another 2 weeks, the end of another video. It's again been a very hard 2 weeks. Very testing. But the last couple of days have definitely been a little bit better. So I'm really hopeful now that I'm finally coming out of this bad phase. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.